Long Pai, the Longshan Road Cultivator, a fatty Qilin immortal ascension, from Gate Guardian to Beast King. Long Pai, Longshan Road Cultivator. Hello, and welcome back to 1991 Review. Do you know just how much of a headache the Supreme Learning Palace's gate guarding beast is? Not only is it greedy and lazy, but it's also a master flatterer. It's as fat as a pig, so slow that everyone laughs at it. Yet, it once defeated a heavenly teacher at the Celestial Court, haunted him for 600,000 years, and eventually became a beast king whose name echoes across the universe? So, how did this transformation happen? In this video, join me to explore the entire life story of the Dragon Qilin. The Dragon Qilin, also known as Fatty Dragon or Fluffy Dragon, is a descendant of the Dragon and Qilin bloodlines. In its youth, it was so weak that it nearly starved to death in the Great Ruins, but was luckily found and taken in by the young patriarch. He assigned it the job of guarding the gate of the Supreme Learning Palace, and named it Long Pai. The first time Qin Mu arrived at the Supreme Learning Palace, the beast was sound asleep. Qin Mu even mistook it for a stone statue. Later, during the battle with Dao Zilin Xian, Qin Mu's weak points were exposed, and he suffered severe injuries to his left shoulder and palm. It was then that the Dragon Qilin awoke and licked Qin Mu's wounds. Because dragon saliva is an excellent cure for external injuries, Qin Mu's wounds quickly closed, flesh regenerated, and even broken bones knit back together. Remembering apothecary's teaching that dragon saliva is a precious medicinal ingredient, Qin Mu immediately started flattering the beast, hoping to beg for a few bottles. However, the Dragon Qilin was also cunning. Knowing its saliva was valuable, it made a condition. Qin Mu had to capture the green cow, the mount of the Ba Mountain sacrificial wine. The green cow had annoyed it by often coming to flirt, mistaking it for a female. Outwardly, the Qilin claimed it wanted to eat the cow, but in reality, it just wanted to beat the cow up. Unfortunately, their strength was mismatched, and knowing it couldn't win, it tricked Qin Mu into tying the cow up so it could deliver the beating. Qin Mu agreed, but no sooner had he started lurking and spying the green cow chase him away, forcing him to run for his life. Realizing he couldn't beat the cow directly, Qin Mu devised a plan to use a powerful tranquilizer. The resourceful Qin Mu borrowed the pill furnace from the Imperial Physician's Court and concocted several elixirs, including the powerful anesthetic 7 Bewitching Fragrance, a substance strong enough to knock out a Jiao Dragon. The Imperial Physicians, deeply impressed since Qin Mu had healed the Empress Dowager, eagerly requested to observe and learn. Qin Mu, never one to hoard knowledge, openly demonstrated the pill-making process. After Qin Mu left, the old physicians tried to replicate the formula. They had the recipe, but lacked the skill to properly contain the medicine. As a result, the 7 Bewitching Fragrance spread, knocking out everyone in the Supreme Learning Palace, from the wine offerings to the disciples. The entire immortal learning institution was plunged into silence, creating an unprecedented chaos in eternal peace. Such a small blunder nearly toppled an entire educational system, a testament to Qin Mu's talent. Qin Mu took the anesthetic, knocked out the green cow, tied its forelegs, and carried it down the mountain, intending to trade it for dragon saliva. Unexpectedly, he ran into the young patriarch and Ba Mountain sacrificial wine, who were distraught, wondering who would use an anesthetic to knock out the entire Supreme Learning Palace. When Ba Mountain saw Qin Mu carrying his beloved cow, he flew into a rage, determined to teach the unruly student a lesson. With the cow claimed back by Ba Mountain, Qin Mu was left with no bargaining chip. However, necessity is the mother of invention. Wouldn't it be better to just knock out the Dragon Qilin itself? So, he tranquilized the Qilin and poured vinegar into its nostrils. The vinegar caused its saliva to flow uncontrollably, and Qin Mu gleefully collected several full bottles, thinking, dragon saliva is as precious as jewels. None shall be wasted. From this point forward, Long Pai's life officially entered a new, tragic, yet glorious chapter under the tutelage of Qin Mu. After Qin Mu officially became the Heavenly Devil Cult Master, or Heavenly Saint Cult Master, the young patriarch departed contentedly. Before leaving, he granted the Dragon Qilin its freedom. The Qilin was overcome with sorrow, clutching the patriarch's leg and crying profusely, snot and tears streaming down its face. The patriarch finally had to threaten to roast and eat it before it stopped crying. When Qin Mu finally returned, the Dragon Qilin immediately lay down and started whining. It complained of being hungry, abandoned, harassed by the green cow, and still resented being tranquilized by Qin Mu. Eventually, it negotiated a deal demanding that Qin Mu take responsibility for it and feed it for life. Initially, it demanded 1 dose of spirit pills, then reduced it to half a dose, and finally just 1 bowl. Qin Mu accepted the arrangement, feeding it 1 dose of blazing fire spirit pills daily and letting it drink the imperial family's jade dragon pond water. In exchange, it had to provide its saliva and agreed to be the cult master Qin's mount. From then on, it constantly addressed him as cult master, determined to cling to this lifetime meal ticket, faithfully serving as a mount despite its status as a divine beast. The dragon Qilin followed Qin Mu, consuming one dose of spirit pills daily, and consequently, it grew increasingly large. Its belly nearly touched the ground, and its neck and tail, originally long, looked short due to its immense girth. Everyone ridiculed it for being fat. Its already slow speed worsened due to its size. It would run for half a minute, and then stop to gas for half an hour. Thus, Qin Mu journeyed to the martial world with one huge, fat Qilin and one fox spirit. The pitiful dragon Qilin was constantly mocked by other mounts and spirit beasts wherever it went, from Ba Mountain's green cow to the deer at the little jade capital. They all looked upon it with contempt. Little did they know that beneath that fat, slow exterior resided a divine intellect brewing unique, master-flattering cultivation techniques. Yet, it consoled itself that it was still in its growth phase and needed to eat a lot to mature. Qin Mu often had to threaten to put in a pot by the next festival if it didn't speed up, which would make it run a little faster, but only for a brief moment. Poor Cult Master Qin had unwittingly adopted a pig-dragon hybrid. Nevertheless, the dragon Qilin helped Qin Mu numerous times. When faced with powerful enemies, it would often manifest its gigantic true form, relying on its thick skin, abundant fat, and hard scales to absorb several blows for its master, a way of repaying its food bill. Each time, it would dramatically complain of pain and demand an increase in its spirit pill ration, but Qin Mu always refused. In fact, Cult Master Qin often felt he had been conned into raising a gluttonous, lazy pig. In truth, the dragon Qilin was a mixed-blood divine beast with extremely high sentience. It even created a cultivation technique for itself called the Servant Sutra, documenting its experiences and cunning methods for pleasing its master and getting its way. However, the incomplete sutra was reported to Qin Mu by Fox Spirit Linger, making the Qilin angry at the fox for days. Its personality was somewhat comical and timid, perhaps due to its unfortunate childhood, as it was particularly afraid of the shadows of the great ruins. It would cry out loudly whenever Qin Mu dragged it into the darkness. When Qin Mu was taken back to the past to witness the collapse of the founding Emperor era, the dragon Qilin formed a strange friendship with the trunk spirit. Even years later, the trunk would try to swallow the dragon Qilin whole whenever they met. The Qilin often worried when Qin Mu ventured into dangerous places, half of it genuinely concerned for Qin Mu's safety, the other half worried about its own stomach. Besides eating spirit pills and sleeping every day, and serving as Qin Mu's mount, its persistent annoyance was its desire to thoroughly beat up the green cow of Ba Mountain, a grudge it had nursed since its time at the Learning Palace. When it encountered a group of dragons and Qilins in the Earth Mother's relic site, and was taught a few moves by those ancient monsters, it immediately sought out the green cow for a showdown, threatening to beat it up wherever they met. However, when Niu Sanqian, the Black Ox mount of the Heavenly Teacher during the founding Emperor era, appeared, the green cow immediately swore allegiance to the Black Ox as its foster father, pleaded with the Black Ox to beat the dragon Qilin for it. From then on, the Qilin developed a deep-seated animosity toward all cows, deeming them despicable enemies obstructing its path to immortality. It was also during the Earth Mother's awakening that Qin Mu learned that the dragon Qilin was a dragon Qilin hybrid, possessing both fire and water attributes. Unaware of this, Qin Mu had only fed it blazing fire spirit pills, causing its fire attribute to overwhelmingly suppress its water attribute. From then on, Qin Mu also concocted water spirit pills for it. But the gluttonous beast preferred the taste of the blazing fire spirit pills, and often secretly hid the water spirit pills. Qin Mu eventually discovered this and had to coax and threaten it before it reluctantly agreed to eat them. That year, Qin Mu undertook a mission to find the descendants of the Qi Ming era. Before leaving, he entrusted the dragon Qilin to Apothecary to look after. However, Apothecary misunderstood one dose of spirit pills daily as one dose per meal. As a result, the Qilin grew so fat that it became a round ball of flesh with another round head attached to the top. Qin Mu was furious. He used a 5 thunder seal to summon 10,000 thunderbolts and threw the Qilin into the lightning to burn off the fat. After enduring countless lightning strikes, it actually lost weight. Its muscles became defined, and it emerged as a majestic dragon Qilin, a true divine beast, completely transformed from its pig-like appearance. Perhaps the most successful decision in its life was choosing to follow Qin Mu. Not only did it secure a daily supply of food, but also gained access to all the cultivation techniques and secret scrolls Qin Mu learned. Cult Master Qin was never stingy with his own people. It could always sleep soundly anywhere, even at Jade Pool, when 14 powerful heavenly venerates were battling, shaking the heavens and the earth. It simply lay still and slept, remarking, "The Cult Master handles everything. If he can't handle it, my worrying is useless. Better to eat a full meal and have a good sleep." Deep down, it understood and always appreciated the hardships Qin Mu endured in his missions. It knew that true sages like the National Preceptor, Founding Emperor, or Cloud Heavenly Venerate all had their own Tao friends. When they faced an impasse, their Tao friends would be there to comfort and encourage them, but its own cult master had no one by his side. So, it resolved to become Qin Mu's Tao friend. Whenever he faced difficulty or was uncertain about a chosen path, it would approach him, rub its head against the body of that unreliable cult master, and gently say, "Cult master, you are absolutely right." That was all it took. Then it would lie quietly beside him, watching the stars fall and the clouds drift by. In those silent moments, the dragon Qilin became a silent Tao protector beast, using its sincerity and spirit pills to solidify the young cult master's Tao heart. During the great catastrophe that struck eternal peace, Moon Heavenly Venerate manifested in primordial world, saving some of the populace. She avoided Qin Mu but sent her maidservant Yenner, the daughter of the Southern Emperor Vermilion Bird and the Eastern Emperor Azure Dragon, to escort Qin Mu. From then on, a man, a dragon Qilin, and a dragon sparrow traveled the universe. Yenner's strength was immense. She protected Qin Mu and the dragon Qilin many times, earning its deep admiration. Whenever they encountered the ancient god lackeys of the celestial court, Yenner would charge forward, manifesting her true form as a winged dragon, spitting fire and thunder to defeat and even eat them. The dragon Qilin's eyes were filled with admiration, which gradually turned into goodwill. A strange feeling bloomed in its heart. It found the demoness quite likable. After countless shared experiences of life and death struggle, a peculiar bond of love developed between the two. On one occasion, when Qin Mu was severely wounded by the great emperor, Long Pai and Yenner borrowed the time-traveling boat of Ling Heavenly Venerate to return to the past, 600,000 years ago, to seek treatment from god King Gongyin. Coincidentally, they encountered the celestial court's internal strife, with the four ancient gods, Azure Dragon, White Tiger, Vermilion Bird, and Black Tortoise, leaving the court to go to the four corners of the universe. Long Pai and Yenner arrive at the palace of the Northern Emperor Black Tortoise. Under Qin Mu's guidance, the dragon Qilin used the formation to duel with the celestial court's first heavenly teacher, Shang Pingyin. It declared itself the Longshan Road Cultivator and defeated Shang Pingyin, claiming the title of first heavenly teacher. Shang Pingyin was so devastated by the loss that for the next 600,000 years, he remained obsessed with a strange figure with a human body and dragon head who called himself the Longshan Road Cultivator. He could not believe he had been defeated by a fat mount. A name is temporary, but the title Longshan Road Cultivator was enough to haunt a powerful expert across multiple epochs. Truly a universe-shaking feat by Long Pai. During that same trip, after defeating the Celestial Court's heavenly teacher, the dragon Qilin and Yenner stole the Northern Emperor's treasure, the lapis lazuli heaven-shaking rod, and returned to the future. This act led to the Northern Emperor's son, Crown Prince Yuming, being suppressed by his parents for 600,000 years. After the secret of the primordial land, the first place to form after the universe opened, the ancestral court was unveiled, the heavenly venerates rushed to claim territory. Qin Mu also secured a spot, bringing out the lapis lazuli heaven-shaking rod, which had been refined by the cripple and the mute, to guard his sacred land. At that time, Long Pai and Yenner were assigned the task of managing the resource extraction. Qin Mu, meanwhile, continued his mission of causing trouble for the 10 heavenly venerates. It was during their time there that Long Pai and Yenner officially became a couple, giving birth to a litter of delightful little monsters that resembled a mix of dragon, Qilin, and Vermilion Bird. Not long after, Qin Mu discovered the deeper secret hidden within the ancestral court, learning of the existence of the beast realm and the ancient ferocious beast, Long Hao. Long Hao, the master of the beast realm and king of 10,000 beasts, captured Long Pai. Thanks to its masterful flattery and the complete servant sutra, a peak cultivation technique of master mooching, it was quickly recognized by Long Hao as his adopted son, becoming the beast prince. Qin Mu felt his fatty had grown up, gained a family, and achieved status, and he was happy for it. On the day Qin Mu married Ling Yuxiu, all the heavens arrived to offer congratulations. Long Pai also sent a gift, the most complete copy of the Servant Sutra. This made Ling Yuxiu chuckle, noting that even the mooching for a living heavenly venerate Mu was now being mooched off by his own mount. Long Hao and Qin Mu signed the Little Earth Deity Pact. Afterward, humans could use summoning spells during combat to call strange beasts from the beast realm to assist. However, in the final battle against the Celestial Court, Long Hao failed to answer the call to arms from the primordial world. As a result, the pact was activated, and Qin Fengqing appeared and devoured Long Hao. Long Pai grieved, for although his foster father was cowardly and fickle, he had genuinely cared for him. Thus, Long Pai rose to become the master of the beast realm, the new beast king, with a formidable reputation across all heavens and myriad realms. He used the title Longshan Road Cultivator to command the 10,000 beasts, ushering in a new era for the beast realm. With Yenner and their children, the family lived happily ever after. That's a beautiful ending for the dragon Qilin, wouldn't you agree? From a gluttonous gate-guarding beast, through countless trials, saved by the young patriarch, and trained by Qin Mu with lightning and spirit pills, Long Pai found his immortal destiny and his Tao companion. He proved that whether as a Mount or a Beast King, as long as one has a full stomach and a loyal heart to one's meal ticket, the path to immortality remains wide open. If you found the journey of Longshan Road Cultivator's ascension from Fatty to Beast King fascinating, please give me a like and comment below to motivate me to create more compelling videos. See you next time.